I have an announcement to make before I begin today's episode regarding the content of this very fine program that you're watching. This is regarding the format of the show. Gone are the days of opening these records or of opening these boxes to contain the records. In are just going to be these. This is due to the crap, the garbage that happened the other day with and also a month ago that happened with Amazon, that they sent me the wrong record twice. It was supposed to be Van Halen, Women and Children first, and it was The Cure at the top twice, and I didn't know that until I opened it. So it's still going to be an unboxing, but it's going to be just from the packaging, because I wanted to make sure I have a bunch to open here, and I've opened them all, or almost all of them, from this to this, so I can confirm that it is the correct record, because some of them are getting very, very close. Some of them may be even expired outside of the 30-day window to return it to Amazon if they send the wrong one. I shouldn't have to do that. It should just be assumed that if you order something that you get it correct. But Amazon has changed the way that I think. So it's still an unboxing, but just from this, it's just a pull tab and an open, and it'll speed things up a little bit too. Mike Pratt is going to be very excited about that. He always complained about the unboxing. Says he hated them with all his heart. So that's gone. So I'm going to talk about AC/DC for those about to rock. Or for those about to rock. I never did understand. Was it We Salute You was the parentheses title of the song? Or was the album called For Those About to Rock, We Salute You with no... I've mentioned before that AC/DC had a problem with punctuation. With no comma? Or was it just For Those About to Rock? And then on the back of the record it had We Salute You. I'm not sure. But you all know what the record is. And for me, this was the last great AC/DC album. I kind of lost track of them after this. I bought Flick of the Switch after this, and then that was the last one until Power Up that came out at this point, I guess about 2 years ago. What a lost album. Kind of like Pearl Jam, Gigaton, these bands that released albums during the lockdown or the pandemic, whatever. They kind of got forgotten, especially AC/DC, because they never toured behind Power Up. Anyway, so For Those About to Rock, I loved at that time, I loved that album. I could never decide which did I like better, Back in Black or For Those About to Rock. Now, over the years, I've realized I do like Back in Black better. And I think this, God, I've talked about this a million times. It has to do with the timing. I think this album is probably just as good as Back in Black. It sounds identical. It sounds like, and Rat is like this Van Halen, especially the first 6 Van Halen records. It sounds like they went into the studio, AC/DC, recorded 20 songs, put out the first 10 as Back in Black, put out the next 10 as For Those About to Rock. To me, they sound identical. The style is identical. The format, 10 songs. Each song is, in the 4-minute range, 340 to 420, somewhere around there. Really twin albums, I think. I think if this had come out first, or if I had this first, I probably would have liked it more. But as it is, I would put it just slightly behind Back in Black. I'm not sure where it ranks in my all-time AC/DC list. That's a very... I'm not sure what to think about that. And I'll talk about that more when I talk about AC/DC in future episodes. But this album, man, oh man, did I ever love it. I got Back in Black, and I got this one for Christmas in 1981. I got I don't know why I'm showing a blank cardboard package. I got Back in Black at some point, I guess in 80 or 81 when that was their current album. And I loved it. I was a big fan. I was just kind of discovering other bands other than Kiss. As I mentioned before, Black Sabbath and Van Halen. And AC/DC was one of them. And I loved Back in Black. So I really, really was very excited for Those About to Rock. And I got it for Christmas in 1981. And oh my God, did I ever love it. I listened to it constantly. At that time, maybe I even listened to it more than Back in Black. And then AC/DC kind of fell out of favor with me, which, again, I'll talk about that as these episodes continue. So I'll open this up. I think this is a classic AC/DC album. I hope anybody, if you like AC/DC, you would agree. I think this is viewed as a classic AC/DC album, unlike, I don't know if this is not personal opinion. I think in the music, legacy of musical legacy of AC/DC, maybe The Razor's Edge was considered a classic. That was a huge album. I never bought that album. So for me, this is the last classic. And I think for AC/DC, maybe they had one more classic after this one. Now, before I open it, I do remember this was a gatefold when I got I don't know if this one will be. I'll see in a few seconds or maybe a few minutes. It was a gatefold, and the gatefold picture was it was a picture. The gatefold was a picture, a live picture of them, just one single concert shot. AC/DC didn't have any packaging. They never had lyrics. Back in Black didn't have lyrics, and For Those About to Rock didn't have lyrics. I guess this one based on the new, I guess these are from 2003. I got Back in Black, which I did a few weeks ago, and Let There Be Rock a week and a half ago or last week or something. I'm gonna guess the packaging, the sleeve of this inside will be a lot of text. It was a double-sided, kind of like a history of the band in that era. So let's see, and there it is. And it was embossed too. The logo was embossed. Is this embossed? It is, and the cannon is embossed too. And it is a gatefold. So I do remember that. This really, with so many of these, it really brings back memories of how exciting it was to discover not just new music, but music. Music at this point was still relatively new for me. I'd only discovered Kiss at this point. I got Kiss Alive for Christmas in 1976. This is only 5 years later. So music was still a new and a very, very big thing for me. Very, very nicely embossed. Everything, the title, the cannon, and the logo is all embossed. I like this color, this kind of rusty, brownish orange. Yeah, really, really like it a lot. There's the spine for those who are interested. All right, and I can open it up now. Why can't I? Why am I having a hard time? I trimmed my nails this morning. They're nice and clean and trimmed, so I couldn't grab the notch to deploy the blade. But I've got it now, don't worry. And I'm gonna open this up. And I'm gonna see that photo, the gatefold photo. All right. Spinorama move. Oh yes, there it is. Oh, I haven't seen this for long, long time. Look at that beauty. And let's see the inside. I guess it'll be some, when I had this originally in 1981, it was just the white sleeve, no nothing, just plain white paper. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be the some text and like a photo collage. And that's what it is, yeah. This is the same as Back in Black and Let There Be Rock. There it is. And let's see the record itself. I don't know if I can't remember what the record label looked like. Was it the red, white, and green Atlantic? Look, this was on Atlantic Records, right? Columbia. I'm not sure. All right, let's see what the record looks like. Same as the other ones. There it is. All right, so there it is. What a great album this is. And you know what? I've mentioned this before. My record player sucks. It's just a cheap record player. I wouldn't even call it a turntable. It's just a record player. And when I listened to Let There Be Rock last week or whenever it was, it didn't sound that good. None of them really sound that good. But Let There Be Rock, it sounded very hissy. The cymbals especially sounded very hissy. When I've listened to Black Sabbath and Van Halen and Kiss on my record player, they sounded okay, much better than AC/DC. So I'm not sure if it's something about the AC/DC sound. And this was produced by Mutt Lange, same as Back in Black and same as Highway to Hell. Maybe I've talked about this a little bit. I think producers are extremely, I hate this word, but they're overrated. They're similar to coaches in sports or managers in baseball. I think bands are going to sound how they're going to sound. And it's more than just the sound, what producers do. Because I think Back in Black sounded pretty different than, same general style, of course. Sounded pretty different sonically than Highway to Hell. And it was the same producer, although this sounds, as I said, exactly like Back in Black. And for me, Flick of the Switch, which was not produced by Mutt Lange, to me sounds also identical to For Those About to Rock and Back in Black. F-A-T-A-R. I think that's For Those About to Rock. F-A-T-A-R. F-T-A-T-R. F-T-A-T-R. For Those About to Rock. So going through this track by track. The first one, obviously, is this in order? Yeah, they are in order. Yeah. For Those About to Rock. Now, here it is. For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. Now, is We Salute You part of the title? And then you can see the song is parentheses. For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. One of the all-time great, all-time classic rock anthems for Those About to Rock. I guess AC/DC's signature song. That's debatable, but I love this song. I don't know if I ever got sick of it at any point, but I loved it when I first heard it, and when I listened to this the other day, I loved it again. I listen to it occasionally, and I think I've always loved it. It's a little bit different than most AC/DC songs. It's not as fast and driving and up-tempo and energetic as a lot of AC/DC songs, but maybe it gets a little bit faster towards the end. We salute you, and then it gets a little bit faster. But oh my God, that kind of quiet guitar intro, down, 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 oh yeah, and the words. Do I know the words to this one? I've talked about this before. That it's very, very difficult. It always has been for me to understand AC/DC lyrics, especially Brian Johnson. We roll tonight for the guitar bite. I don't know what the guitar bite is. He mentions that, I think, later in the song. Stand up and be counted for what you are about to receive. We are the dealers. We'll give you everything you need. Hail, hail to the good times, because rock has got the right of way. We ain't no legend, ain't no cause. We're just living for today. I think I know those lyrics. Back in Black, I really don't know those lyrics at all. But man, oh man, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. Amazing song. A great way to start the record. A little bit different, as I said, a little bit slower. Usually there's kind of a faster song opening the record. But For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. Classic. I Put the Finger on You. This is cool. This starts with just guitar and drums, no bass. The bass comes in later. This is a kind of a fun, lighter song. I mean, it's still got the AC/DC energy, but it's not dark like, Hell's Bells or something like that. I don't know why I'm comparing Hell's Bells to this. I put the finger on you for sure. It's the key to unlocking the door. Don't you? I'm busting through your security, something like that. Love that song too. Let's Get It Up. Da-na-na-na, I don't know why this song wasn't as big as You Shook Me All Night Long. Again, I think it probably has to do with the timeline. If Let's Get It Up had been, and I'm comparing this one because I think they're kind of similar songs. They're both kind of sexy songs, kind of fun songs. And I think if Let's Get It Up had been on Back in Black in place of You Shook Me All Night Long, I think there's no way to know this. I think it would have been much, much bigger, maybe just as big as You Shook Me All Night Long. I think when I was a kid, I don't know what my favorite song on this album is. When I was a kid, I know that was my favorite song. Let's Get It Up. Let's get it, ga, 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 ooh, let's get it up. Right up. Inject the Venom. Is that No Mercy for the Bad if they want it? No mercy for the bad if they bleed. Maybe this is my favorite. And interesting about this one, he spells out, Brian Johnson sings, he spells out Venom, V-E-N-O-M. which is Venom, the band, had a song a couple years later on, what song was that? Where they also spelled out V-E-N-O fucking M. We are the black metal gods. What song was that? No, it wasn't. It's one of their anthemic songs. Not Too Loud for the Crowd. That was on Possessed. It was Stand Up and Be Counted. Stand Up and Be Counted by Venom. Kronos spelled out V-E-N-O-M, and Brian Johnson before Kronos spelled out V-E-N-O-M. And I think, I could be wrong, Inject the Venom has a sexual overtone to it. That's what I think. That's a great song. Next song is Snowball. Snowball! I like that one too. For me, probably my least favorite of on the first side, but it's a good one. Other side was Evil Walks. No, maybe that. No, you know what? That one and the next one, maybe those are my favorites. Evil Walks. I sometimes wonder where you park your broom. And what was the other one that he said? You just cry wolf. I sometimes wonder where you park your broom. Yeah, Evil Walks. I think that's my favorite song. Except for the next one, COD, Care of the Devil. I love that one too. Care of the Devil in Me. Yeah. The Curse of Love. Is that the one? The Curse of Love. The curse of love is the cause of the pain. The crime of the day is when you do it again. Call on the doctor, cash on demand. If you give him the finger, he'll take off your hand. COD, Care of the Devil. We're getting back at this. Is a great album. Breaking the Rules. That one's, I guess one has to be my least favorite. Maybe that's it. It's kind of a slow, doesn't really go anywhere. It's okay, Breaking the Rules. Night of the Long Knives. Now we're getting back into the good stuff. Night of the Long Knives is excellent. And then the last song is Spellbound. Spellbound, not the Triumph songs. Triumph also has a song called Spellbound, but the last song here is Spellbound. And it's also okay. And I'm realizing these last three songs, this is maybe where, up to this point, I would have put it on par with Back in Black. But these last three they're okay. They don't grab me like, the other ones. So a little bit, I don't want to say it's a weak finish. I'm sure there are lots of people who think Spellbound and Night of the Long Knives and Breaking the Rules, Just Keep on Breaking the Rules is their favorite song. But for me, it comes down a little bit in those last three songs. But overall, a fantastic album. And this is probably really the last. It's not the last episode I'm going to do with AC/DC. It's the last AC/DC album that I'm super familiar with, that I have any authority on. And I went back later into the Bon Scott era, and I'm still discovering that, which is actually pretty cool. And Flick of the Switch, which I will get to. I have it. Spoiler alert, Flick of the Switch is right down here too. But this is, for me, as I said, the last classic AC/DC album. The last one that I really, really get into. I think later, by the time Flick of the Switch came out, I discovered other music, and AC/DC were kind of in the past for me now. At that point, sorry. And but oh man, I'm very excited to have this again, as I have been with some other ones, and I'm gonna I'm looking forward to listening to this. For those about to rock, we salute you.